jetpack's harness and let it rip. It flew straight ahead, knocking down henchmen like bowling pins. Suddenly, two more henchmen closed in on her, each grabbing an arm. Truth be told, Kim hadn't quite figured out how to get out of this one. At least not yet. The henchmen backed Kim up against the damn wall that looked out over a sheer drop to the water below, and she struggled against them. "Yeah!" Ron shouted as he fell from the sky and crashed into the two burly henchmen, knocking them over. His helmet flew off. "Are we winning?" asked Ron. He stood up, a dazed look on his face. "Ron, look at the hench dudes you took out," said Kim with a proud grin. "Ron, you've done it again," he told himself as he removed his jetpack. Just as it slid off his back, the wings popped out and the jetpack flew away, disappearing from view in a stream of smoke. "I'm sure Dementor didn't see that," Ron said, leaning casually against a black barrel full of flammable fluids. It tipped over and hit another barrel, causing a chain reaction that started a small fire. "Ron, run!" Kim cried out, ducking behind a rusty crate. Ron dove right beside her just as the fire burst into an enormous explosion. Ron and Kim stood and examined the damage as the smoke cleared. "Okay, he might have seen that," Ron admitted sheepishly. Kim's pendant emitted a 4-note jingle and glowed. Then she pressed it, and a hologram popped up. The lit-up screen being projected from her communicator showed Wade, who wore a hoodie and sat in a dark, computer-filled room somewhere. "Kim, I've got a target lock," said Wade. "Here, see for yourself." The image of Wade's head was replaced with schematics and a map of the building with a big X marked on one of the floors. "Professor Dementor has the scientist chained up on level 6, Wade continued. "You better hurry." "Let's go, Ron," said Kim, breaking into a run. "We need to stop Dementor before he uses that disintegrating slime." Back in the lair, Professor Dementor held a cup of dark slime as he moved past his henchmen. To make sure it was the uber slime, he poured the cup onto a globe. The globe disintegrated immediately. "Success! The world is mine!" he cackled. Then the slime turned pink and very, very sparkly. "Why is it turning all pink and sparkly?" Professor Dementor asked. "I don't know. It's probably just a byproduct of the disintegration process," answered Dr. Glotman from his chair. The panic in his voice was clear. "I cannot take over the world with the pink and the sparkles. Everybody will make the fun," shouted Professor Dementor. "How? They'll all be disintegrated," said the doctor with a sob. "As will you, Dr. Smarty-Pantses," shouted Professor Dementor, wheeling on him. With that, the henchman grabbed Dr. Glotman and led him to a hook over the vat of slime. "Now, engage the painfully slow descending hook into your slimy doom," commanded Professor Dementor. "Please, please don't do this. Be reasonable," cried Dr. Glotman as the henchman strung the hook through his chains. Professor Dementor threw back his head and laughed. Just then, Kim and Ron busted down a door and descended an eerie staircase that echoed with the sounds of Professor Dementor's cackles coming from somewhere below. They had to hurry if they were going to save the doctor. Dr. Glotman dangled over the hissing vat of slime. Professor Dementor looked on proudly at his handiwork, then adjusted the strap of his helmet. "Slime's up, Professor Dementor," Kim called down to him from where she and Ron stood on a platform overlooking the scene. "Fraulein Possible?" said Professor Dementor incredulously. Kim gave a sly smile, unafraid. "Get her!" Professor Dementor commanded, motioning to his huge henchman, who sprang into action. "Ron, unhook the dock and I'll take the goons," Kim said as she started battling henchmen, delivering one strong move after the next. Henchmen fell around her left and right as she kicked and spun to avoid their attacks. Kim ducked, jumped, and weaved. Once she tackled a henchman out of her way, a massive one emerged in front of her, heaving with menace. Ron